To Celebrity Radio, it's Alex Belfield live in Las Vegas at the Luxor Hotel and Casino at Mindfreak Live, the home of Criss Angel, the greatest magician on earth. How are you, Criss?
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I'm doing really well.
I don't say that lightly. I mean, I came a year ago and I sat through rehearsals of Mindfreak Live and you were trying to get it together. And let's start at the beginning. I mean, this is your life's work in this show. It's 90 minutes of your entire life on stage.
Well, absolutely. I wanted to do a show that really reflected everything that was me and all the different phases and eras that I went through in my life. And I think Mindfreak really embodies everything Criss Angel, Christopher, Christos, all these different things that I was, and it comes out every night. And it gives me an opportunity to show how diverse I can be. And emotionally, we take people on a roller coaster.
This is a huge show. Let's set this up. I mean, it's the biggest magic show that I've ever seen. I've looked online. I've never seen anything bigger, from the lighting, the staging, the set, obviously the illusions themselves. I don't think there's ever been a bigger show with a bigger budget. And that's a ton of work. Again, a ton of expense and a ton of risk. And a year on, as you sit here, are you now breathing a sigh of relief that you've made it, the show is now running, and people are coming and the show's selling out?
Well, you know, I feel very grateful. When I say we, it takes an army to win a war. And we really had a lot of incredible people that helped facilitate getting this show into this theater, getting the old show out in a very short amount of time, 3 weeks. And it was very challenging, but I always felt very confident in my ability, in my vision, and to be able to see it kind of come to fruition over the past year, even though it's still not where I want it to be. It's a living organism. It constantly evolves and transforms. It's, you know, incredibly rewarding, but I never had any doubt in my ability. I am somebody that if I'm going to do something, I have to have a lot of confidence in what I'm about to do. I don't take on projects that I don't believe in, but this is one that I believed in and believed in for a very long time.
I guess from your perspective, you get the scale, you get how huge this show is, especially compared to others, because even in this town, the days of these big production magic shows have gone. There are people still ripping papers up and putting them back together, and that's their finale. You, on the other hand, have got this stunning levitation, which is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen in a theatre. It is not only theatrically beautiful, but it is so complex what you do.
When you talk about magnitude and spectacle, I think that's eye candy for Las Vegas. You know, that's what the audience wants. But I think the most important quality about this show than all of the fluff or the eye candy, you know, or the spectacle is the simple element, and that's the magic of emotion. That's connecting to people on a level that will make them scared, that will make them cry, that will make them excited, that will make them happy, that will make them reflect. And I think this show embodies that quality. So for me, it's not really about the size of the production. The most important aspect is the emotional intent that I have and what I want to say to the audience, and that all of the elements that are involved are saying the same thing. And to me, if somebody walks away feeling something, that is the greatest compliment I can get, because I move them emotionally. It's not about how I did it. It's about how you feel when you watch it.
You then mention about the emotion. There's a segment in this where you talk about Johnny, your son. Firstly, how is he?
He's doing well. He's doing quite well. What he's going through and what kids go through, no child should ever go through that. And I'm a huge proponent of these kids that are dealing with these horrible diseases. In every show, we try to raise money, raise awareness, and make a change to benefit these kids that are dealing with life and death every moment of every day. So that had a profound effect on me.
I mean, there's nothing more personal than talking about a child that's fighting cancer, and you do and dedicate this whole segment to that. And of course, you make it very touching and moving and beautiful at the same time. Is that tough to get through on a daily basis, twice nightly? I mean, that's incredibly personal. That's not showbiz anymore, is it?
For me, the whole show is not an easy show to get through, because, you know, when I play that character, Christos, you know, with the makeup and the whole thing, that's a character that really exerts a lot of energy. I have to really be in the moment, or else it doesn't become believable. I break the illusion of buying into it. And so whether I'm talking about, these kids that unfortunately have to deal with this horrible disease, which obviously touches my heart and touches home, or, doing the levitation, it's all about being in the moment and trying to be true with myself and what the intent is of that moment so that I can convey that, to the audience. Now you have to understand something, even though that is in a night's work, like that levitation that you were just talking about, that levitation took me 16 plus years to create. So it has been the most challenging piece of illusion that I've ever had to really materialize and be able to do. And it took a tremendous amount of time, brain power, trial and tribulation, and just an incredible team from all the different departments to really work tirelessly to bring that to life. So when I'm doing it, I know the impact it has in the audience, not only because it's obvious with the reaction and people standing up, but because of the reaction I had when I saw the video of it. It's, one of the most, for me, prolific pieces of magic that I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot.
It's electrifying. There's no other word for it. And then we talk about you as a human being. And I've been very lucky to sit backstage with many people over the years. And you see everything from a light out of focus to a person in the wrong place to a hand movement to a neck to an arm to a leg. Is that draining and exhausting? Because you are, in a way, the show. It is entirely about you. And you conduct the whole thing like a maestro, don't you?
It's a blessing and it's a curse. It's a blessing because I know what I want to see. And I understand all of the different elements to bring my vision to fruition. But it also is painstaking because every single show, the audience doesn't know this, I have a microphone on that I'm giving notes while I'm on stage to backstage so that we can address these notes. And there's never one show that I get through where I don't have a note. So it's an obsession. It's trying to reach perfection when perfection is intangible. It's like trying to hold water. You just can't do it. But you try to evolve. That's what's so different about live entertainment compared to what we were talking about before, doing something on television or something in a movie. You could retake it. You can upcut it. You can put, as Belly would say, music behind, or you can redo the line. You can go in and just do the line itself and match it to the visual and sync it up. Here, you don't have any of that. You drop a piece of paper, you have to deal with that. You have a light that goes out that could blow the illusion, you have to deal with that. You have somebody drunk in the audience, you have to deal with that. It's all of these elements that you have to deal with for 90 minutes and somehow weave it all together and make it look like it was supposed to be like that. And in turn, give the audience the best possible experience they can have in any Las Vegas show. That's my goal, is to give people an experience that they can't have anywhere else, not only in Las Vegas, but the world. And I think that's why we have people coming back and people really reacting to what they see and feel because it's completely original and unique.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've never seen another magician with more energy than you on a stage. I've been very critical in this town of people looking bored, and some of the biggest guys in the world looking bored. I don't think that's acceptable. Whether they've done it twice that day, 10 times that week is not my problem. I'm paying for a ticket. You never seem to do that. I wonder physically about the levitation, going back to that, how strong you have to be within your core. Because that is a workout, isn't it? I mean, that's not easy. It might look simple. You're a swan that's flying through the air that looks beautiful, but you've got to be at your peak fitness to pull that off beautifully, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a lot of training, specifically core training, and I spent a lot of time, and I've always been pretty athletic, but still I spent a lot of time. I spent time with aerialists, gymnasts, people that have specialties in a specific art form that I thought would add some life and a unique feel to it. Because I didn't want to do what has been done before, because, people have been levitating forever, but I wanted to levitate in a way that I was able to manipulate my body in a way that we've never seen. I was able to manipulate another person in a way that we've never seen, to be in conditions that are not the cheesy hoop passing, but rather real situations, and show people that there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this, and allow people to just accept that in that moment I'm levitating, because I just blow all of their theories out the window. And so it starts off with the ladder, as you point out, which is I was the first person to ever walk down or walk up a wall. Outside of watching as a kid Batman doing it back in the day, no magician ever brought that to life. And I wanted to do that in a way that would be something that would blow people's minds and something that would be unexpected. And the idea is like a song, is to create a rhythm and to create peaks and valleys and to have this thing ultimately climax. And hopefully that's what we were able to accomplish.
I actually think it is probably the most beautiful bit of theatre I've ever seen. It is utterly stunning. And then we go through the show, and there are many moments, small and large. There's the corn tricks you do that are just very close up in the audience, literally. You've got Penny, you've got Matteo, who do a beautiful job. And then there's the trunk switch, which you do with Chloe, which, again, I think is probably one of the best bits of magic I've ever seen in history. The speed in which you both do that is breathtaking. How many hours goes into making that as crisp as it appeared? I mean, I'm talking milliseconds, not seconds.
We have to understand, I've been doing the metamorphosis. I started when I was probably 14 years old. I started doing that with my brother in the den. And so I really always loved that illusion. I remember, seeing the Houdini, that was one of his signature pieces, and then Doug Henning doing that piece as well. And it was something that really inspired me. And I when I was 17 or 18, I started doing it with a wall of fire, but unfortunately couldn't do that in Vegas because of the regulations with pyrotechnics and the proximity that they have to be away from performers. So we wanted to do something that would be pretty mind-blowing, and I think the method that I had to employ is one that's allows us to do it in literally less than a second. It really is. And it took for me to understand that as I said, since I was a kid, I've been doing that. So I really had a great grasp of that illusion and what I wanted out of that illusion. So it was really more for the person that had to do the switch with me to really work at that, because they didn't have the luxury of the experience and the years that I've been doing this, because I had a misspent youth.
Well, and congratulations to Chloe, because she pulls it off beautifully. I mean, it is a sensational bit of magic, and I honestly think you should tour the world with that. It is so fast and crisp and beautiful, and again, with the music and the lighting, the synergy of that, it has to be perfect, doesn't it? Or it just looks a bit crap.
Yeah, the show is probably, well, not even probably, it is without question the most technical magic show ever to be performed in the history of the world. And I'll go even further by saying we are doing things with technology in this show that no Broadway show, that no Las Vegas show that has ever done. 3D immersion, the stuff that we're doing, and doing images on 9 different screens and putting them together in sync with live performance, with the lighting, with set pieces, with illusion, to create this effect. Again, which was from my TV show, I created this thing called The Matrix, and many magicians since ripped it off and have done it all over the world. But I created that, and I wanted to do it not in the way that everybody else does it, even though they took it from me, because they just sit there and they lean backwards and they're there. To me, I wanted to have it be in a greater context with greater meaning, and so we have that illusion. With Lance's signature illusion that he gave me the rights to, which is this Mortal Kombat scene that incorporates this fast-paced, exciting piece of magic, but in context, it becomes part of the whole experience, as opposed to, hey, look, there's nothing here. Now I'm gonna lean back, and now look, I can get up. That's not what interests me. That everybody that's doing that, which is cool, is old school. That's the old way of thinking. What I'm trying to bring to the stage is a new experience. And I think that approach is what the public is really excited about, and why we have so many standing ovations in one performance, why the audience sounds like we're at Belinda's concert as opposed to a magic show, and why we've had the success that we've had. So a lot of hard work. There's no secret. Hard work, incredibly talented people surrounding me, and a vision that we're relentless to bring to life. The cast is critical, the crew is critical. We have a pretty big family here, and it's imperative because, where most magic shows rely, like people across the street, they rely on boxes, which I don't say that in a bad way. There's a place for that, and there's an audience for that. But this show doesn't have those things. And when you have a box, you don't have to worry about lighting. It's self-contained. You don't have to worry about exposure. Here, there's like really no boxes. Everything is in the open. And so it becomes much more imperative that lighting, that the scenic elements, that props, that staging, that artists are all in the right place with exactly the right timing in order to make it look like magic.
Well, I've been seeing theatre for 20 years, and I've got to tell you, this is as good as any rock concert I've ever seen, as good as any Broadway or West End show. Congratulations. You mentioned Belinda twice in this interview, so I'm going to ask you, a year on since we last spoke, you seem to be happy. You seem to have changed as well. Privately, personally, as a human being, aside from the show, how are you?
I've never been happier. I've been so blessed in my life to be content and to be happy and to feel like I want to be in the moment. And I don't care about the things that I used to care about. My priorities in life have completely changed. And, I've been very blessed to have the most beautiful woman in my life. And, we have just an amazing fun time together. And obviously, I'm very happy that she's here and we're enjoying time together and working on some projects as well. Also, I'm in a place where, like the show speaks for itself. I don't have anything to defend. Magicians that want to attack me, go right ahead and attack me. But I do this every night. I do this every week. I do this every month, and have been doing it on stage for many, many years. So, the proof's in the pudding. These people are usually not people that are working. So I don't have anything. I'm just in a different place. I'm a different person. I'm always trying to evolve and grow. I'm trying to be a better person. I want to be a better person because at the end of the day, that's all you really have, right? You only have the memories that you create for others to remember. So the most important people are the people that you love that are closest to you. So they bring out the best of you. They bring out what's important in life. They make you reflect and realize that life is passing by very, very quickly, and it's about time you stop and you appreciate the fruits of your labor. You appreciate the person that you're with, and you can have the greatest time in the world doing nothing. And that's something that I never understood because I always have been obsessed with my career. I've always have been working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, just obsessed with projects and different things. Now my motivation comes from a different place, a great place, and it's a very peaceful place. And I'm very, very blessed to be in a situation at this point in my life.
To be present and enjoy it, it must be the greatest thrill. And to know that there are thousands of people walking out of this casino every day who are saying great things must be for you the ultimate compliment. That's what you've always dreamed of, isn't it? I mean, when you were a kid, this was what you wanted. Yeah,
I mean, when I was a kid, I always dreamt about this magic organization called the International Brotherhood of Magicians, IBM. And I always had this kind of fantasy about this organization because it's the largest magic organization in the world. And just recently, like within the last 10 days, they presented me the honor of saying that I had the best magic show in the world. To the public, it might not mean anything, but to me, as a magician and as somebody grew up, knowing about the International Brotherhood of Magicians and knowing people that were involved in that, and it was this society and this thing, it was just something, that I built up in my mind. And now to have received that, and then all of the years of hard work, sweat, tears, it was just a very long journey to get to this point. But I'm living proof, because I'm not special. I say that all the time. I'm not different. I'm just somebody that's relentless. I'm somebody that, wanted something so bad and was willing to sacrifice what I had to sacrifice in order to achieve it. And anybody that's listening to this right now, no matter what field they want to accomplish or what goal they want to accomplish, they can do it if they're willing to go through the process and to be honest with themselves and evolve and develop and transform. Those are the critical elements in order to live a dream. And so I'm living the dream now. And my contract expires October 31st of next year. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a lot of different opportunities, but right now I'm not worried about it. And that's a very, very unique situation to be in, because throughout my career, I was always worried about, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Oh my God, this. Doesn't matter. I don't have to do anything. So that's really rewarding to know that something I love, something I've been so passionate about as a child, has put me in a situation that I don't have to worry about those things anymore. So I love magic. The art of magic is incredible. I encourage everybody to at least learn one trick, because it's a great situation to break the ice, to create a dialogue, and it just a fun way to interact with people. It's great.
I can't remember when we first talked. I think it was probably nearly 10 years ago, and I've seen the evolution of Believe into this, into what it is finally now. And you, from that point then, I think, as you say, was a very different person to the guy we're sitting here with now. No matter what they say, they can't take that show away from you. I do think it is the most beautiful magic show in history. I've never seen anything on the scale, with the ups and downs and the emotion and the diversity within it, and the skill and precision and timing. It is beautiful. I wish you happiness and joy. Criss Angel, thank you for your time.
Thank you for all the very kind words, and I don't take them for granted. And to everybody that's listening, thanks for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't seen Mindfreak live, please make sure to come down to the Luxor and check it out. I'd love to see you.